All right, let's start with the good news last night. Henry Davis making his debut, getting a nice double down the third base line in his first at bat. Your thoughts of what you saw from him last night?
Yeah, he had really good at bats. I mean, he had the double in his first at bat. He had the walk in his third, and his last at bat, he hit a ball right on the nose, just straightaway center field. And I really feel that we think we're going to get consistent and good at bats out of Henry. And last night was a good night in his debut.
All right, why not play him at catcher? You indicated yesterday before the game he's going to get most of his work at right field, occasionally a designated hitter. Does he not have more value in your lineup at catcher than maybe in right fielder as a DH? What is your thinking there?
Well, I think it's determinant. If you're looking at value of a catcher as a hitter, that's really not the function of how it works. I think the reason that we brought Henry to the big leagues is we think he can help us win right now, especially with his bat. There is still work to do developmentally, with him catching-wise, and we're going to work on that while he is here. But overall value right now, we feel it's best that he plays out in the outfield.
Do you think he's going to be a long-range catcher, or is it going to be at another position?
No, I think we feel he has the chance to be a major league catcher, and we're not in any way dismissing that. It's just right now we feel that the best opportunity he gives us is to be out in the outfield with him swinging the bat.
I want to get back to what you said about Henry Davis and that he could work on his development up here. How does that happen? It can't just be bullpen, though, is it, Shelton? Doesn't he have to get that time in game? And what is your plan that way?
Yeah, well, in terms of, first off, it's going to happen not only in bullpens but flat grounds and, with our catching group up here. And then when, we feel it's the appropriate time or appropriate game situation, then, there's a possibility there could be some game stuff. And I think it's a situation right now that offensively we really feel that he can help us. And we think that's the most important thing right now.
The other thing that happened last night, it's unfortunate, is that Austin Hedges got a round of boos when he was coming up. And I realized when you guys signed him, you knew what kind of hitter he was. And that wasn't his strength. So, I mean, when you hear that from a guy who's been, as important defensively as he is for your club, what do you think of and how does this all work with three catchers now in your roster?
Yeah, well, I think the word you used there, Pomp, that's unfortunate because we did sign Hedgie to be a defensive catcher. And, I think if you look at not only him but the tandem of him and Jason DeLay, defensively they're the best catching tandem in baseball. And it's by a wide margin, and it's probably by any place you can go and look. I mean, in any catching reference you can do. So, that is why we signed Hedgie. That's what we said coming out of spring training, that was going to be our focus, was making sure that we were very defensive-based in that position. And to the third point, having the third catcher, I think right now is highlighted with the question with Cookie. We're looking at Henry more as an outfielder currently. And like I said, that's currently because he can help us offensively.
Shelty, I shouldn't say no one. You lose Cruz early on, and that certainly hurt the offense. You're having so much trouble scoring runs. How can you – I get the defensive aspect of this, but the number one thing we get here is why does he keep running Hedges out there who's hitting 170, 172 when you're struggling so much to score runs?
I understand that, but if you also look, he's the top framer in baseball. And pitching is important also. So, and it's not just like we're struggling offensively. We have, during the stretch, we have multiple issues that we have to address and have to make sure we keep getting better at. So, as we've said, the defensive portion is important. The pitching is important. Our pitching staff is, as I think you highlighted the other day, Cookie, when we were talking, is kind of beat up. Our bullpen is completely different than it was even almost 10 days ago. So there's a lot of factors that go into that.